guys, welcome to Becky Tarot. My name's Becky. I'm a spiritual advisor, clairvoyant, energy reader. So let's see who's next. Aquarius. Oh, I just heard no. I said no. Very assertive, aggressive, but like not you. You was being very assertive there. If this is you, Aquarius, but you were being. Someone's not listening to you when you're saying no. Like they're not listening. And you're like, why are you not listening? I've said no. And I've got to use a deck that's not here. Bear with me. I'm just getting it out of my box. I can see the deck they want me to use. Sorry guys. Hold on. Let me get it. Really? Okay. Sorry Aquarius. This is the one they want me to use. You might be a bit fumbly or no, because you're not fumbling over your words. Maybe you're making the other person a bit like, because you're like, I said no. Like you're standing up for yourself. Finally. Not finally, because I feel like you can stand up for yourself, Aquarius, but you just, yeah, you're like, I said no. And that is annoying. I put the fucking cards in the wrong place. No, it's okay. There we go. Right. Oh, you're like, don't fuck with me today. Boundaries up. No fucking with me. I mean what I say today. You got clarity on something. I'm just seeing like energy and light. Like, that's it. I've got the clarity that I needed. You're kind of sad and heartbroken about this a bit on the inside, whether you're aware of it or not, but you're like, no. Your shield has gone up and you've made your decision. So what else would you like to show me? Please, angel spirit guides for Aquarius. We are not taking all of those. Right, so you have reached this clarity either because you have been making sure you get your rest time in or meditation time in. If that's not the case, then they're saying you need to make sure you're resting or meditating. You're making sure you're recuperating because there's actually a forgiveness lesson here that needs to be dealt. So listen, you can be like I said, no, you can cut someone off, but you can still work through the shit to forgive like yourself or the other person or whatever the situation. But there's some kind of rest and what's coming through now is that there's just rest and wait because someone might come in and ask forgiveness. Yeah, destruction. Yeah, divine timing. So, okay. I just felt a pain in my back, so that could be a stab in the back, Aquarius. That put you at a crossroads. They're saying it's under divine timing for the destruction of whatever this situation is, really. But someone's going to ask for forgiveness. It's under divine timing. There was definitely someone put a knife in someone's back. This needs to be released. I just heard obsession, union, devotion. Someone put a knife in someone's back and they want forgiveness, but it's under divine timing because the person that wants forgiveness is petrified to come forward and is obsessed with the person they want forgiveness for. But it's under divine timing because they will only probably come forward once the person who had the knife put in their back releases it. And that is the divine timing. And that could go on for 10 years, 5 years, 5 months, 5 minutes. It depends on when the person that got stabbed in the back can release. I just said, the art of release, and then I heard, the art of healing. Oh, fucking hell. This energy's peak, man. Aquarius, if it's resonating for you, your energy must be like, yeah, so we've got twin flame, blind to the contract. There's details of this you can't see, hence the fact of it, you wouldn't have known that if it's you that needs forgiveness, Aquarius, you're not going to get it, and like you're not going to feel the energy shift in order to come forward until this person's released you fully. So contract, twin flame, you're blind to the like ins and outs that are going on here. You're back and forth, hot and cold, up and down, but you're blind to the contract, or you was blind to the contract. You want to return, but there's shadow work that needs to be done. That's what the divine are saying. Oh, for some of you, this stabbing in the back was done a while ago, and you went in a new direction, have created a whole new world in a new direction, but you have to abandon that to come back to ask for forgiveness. You can't come back and ask for forgiveness while still having that. You have to fully abandon it, and that's hard. But you're not the same person you was back then. You're scared. There's lots of fear, I feel like, so for those that resonating for, you may have like stabbed someone in the back and gone off with someone else and gone and built a life with someone else, and you hadn't done any healing at all, right? You hadn't done any healing whatsoever. But as the time's gone on, you've been working on yourself slowly, you've been seeing things differently, you've been growing, evolving. I feel like spiritually you've grown. You haven't told anyone about this though. Like, you've kept this whole spiritually awakening, you've kept it quiet, and you've kept quiet about how devoted to this situation and person that you are. It's like under the radar, no one knows. So what are you saying no about? I said no, unless that's the fear that you're gonna. It was quite a strong energy. I'll go in at the end of that and see. Have fun with this. Yeah, see, it's like you've changed so much. You've built a whole life. You've built a whole life of materialistic, not true love, empathy, unconditional love, work with the universe. You've built financially, like financial stability, but that's because you use that to numb yourself, Aquarius. But you're hitting a fucking wall because like your whole entire body, soul, guides, everything, you're just like, it's time to abandon what you've just spent ages creating. They're saying there's so many different ways you can do this, but can you like follow your dream? Like, can you follow your heart and abandon this mask that you're wearing? You're wearing a mask, Aquarius. I feel your whole life. It's kind of exhausting because you have like, it feels like, okay, so say you stab someone in the back by going off and building a new life in whatever way that was, whether that was with someone else or just in whatever format. So you went off, like, well, you probably did initially, like, things were going off as in like, oh, should I have done this? Like, I've just gone. I feel like it was very swift. Like, there was no, it just done. It was done. I just had a thought process. So maybe you didn't go through the proper thought process, or you let other people sway you for some of you. Either way, it was quick. It was harsh, and I just saw a sword like slice. So it was quick chop on the chopping board. I heard, so that was done. You've spent all this time building a new life, but like in the material, like materialistically, you haven't built off genuine, like you're stable, but you've climbed it in a wrong way. And now throughout this time, I feel like you've spiritually been growing, but it's like it's all under a mask. Like, no one proper around you really knows how much more balanced you are now, how much more ascended you are now. Nobody realises, like I'm sure they can see that you've grown in certain ways of your life, but nobody realised just how badly you've grown spiritually. This is really coming through. It's very important. the person that you've done over, I feel like you've been watching, and you've watched what they've created and how they've reinvented themselves. But what I'm getting is how so you both went and like reinvented your lives, but the person that you stabbed in the back went and done it like not off this. They worked through, did their healing, and has built like a genuine foundation for themselves. And the mask, it's like, can you abandon the mask to go back and ask forgiveness? Like, can you do it? Do one more on that. You're contemplating. You dream of this. You dream of it all the time. I feel like, and actually, it's your free will. Like, it's coming through. It's your free will. You know it's your free will. There's barriers. The answer is no. But that, I just saw barrier, then I saw that, and then I heard that, like, no. The answer is no. And this could be you, like, telling yourself, like, no. The answer is no, but everything, your soul, your mind, your body, I feel like you're being bombarded with everything to like take this mask off and go and be genuine to yourself. But you're just like, no. It's like you just won't allow yourself to feel. But this must be exhausting. Like, I mean, how long have you been doing this? Because this can't last forever. Really, can it? Like, I mean, I suppose the energy will shift at some point, like, but maybe it's still under divine timing, as in it's open. Like, there's a reason why you're pulled to it, but obviously if it just goes on so long and you just won't budge, then that window shuts, you know, and they'll be like, okay, this is free will, she's free will, he's or she's free will. And that's what their decision was. You're tied up in this. You're absolutely caught up in this. But the thing is, you're going to keep spiritually awakening and acknowledging more and more things. But you're trying to be patient. I think I think there's a possibility you might be being patient for the other person to do something about it, but the other person isn't going to do anything about it. That's not part of the lesson. That's not the vibe. They're not being bombarded with, oh, you should move towards them, you should, at all. It's you for a reason, Aquarius. Okay, deep. Yeah, blocking off your heart. Don't want to, trying to be patient, but I don't know what you're trying to be patient for. Yeah, financial constraints. I think this will loop back around though, and it might be a possibility that you might get hit in the material side of things. It's like, where's the value? It's a lesson of value. Like, do you just value money, wealth on that side of things, or do you value true happiness, abundance and love? Like, can you heal enough to realize what an attachment is and what true love and abundance and happiness is? Aquarius. Right, let me check in. Yeah, I think they're just in denial. That whole I said no is like you just telling yourself, no, I'm not going to do it. But I think there's literally like 50% chance you might, but at the very last minute. Because the anxiety you won't be able to take anymore. It will be, when I say at the last minute, I'm literally getting like, you know, do you remember in like Indiana Jones and all them films, where it's like the door thing's coming down and they just make it through, and then the little fucking hat, he drops the hat and he gets that. But I mean, you know, in those films where it's like just in the nick of time, and I'm getting that vibe for a lot of you. It's like, oh man, you was cutting that close. You was cutting that close. I will say this, if you are going to have to abandon a situation, like as in an actual connection, the person you'll be abandoning will be very envious. I think you know this, but you must know and understand that you're spiritually protected by following guidance and moving and working with spirit. Like, people can be as envious as they like. It's not going to matter if you're following your light and your guidance. It's not going to matter. It's not. But yeah, that's it for you, Aquarius. If you're interested in connecting and having a private reading, descriptions and info on that is in the box down below. In the meantime, I send you love and light. Bye.